Yes, I thought I saw a specter at your shoulder.
What do you mean?
The specter of defeat.
Yes, I thought I saw a specter at your shoulder. What do you mean, the specter of defeat? Thunderball, the film that turned James Bond from a box office hit into a global phenomenon. Behind the sun-soaked beaches of Nassau, the underwater battles, and Sean Connery at the peak of his powers, there are secrets most fans have never heard. We are diving into 20 weird facts about this 1965 classic, plus one bonus fact that might change the way you see the entire franchise forever. Before we get into it, if you enjoy deep dives like this into the golden era of Hollywood, subscribe to the channel right now. We cover these classics every week. Number 1. Thunderball was never supposed to be the fourth Bond film. It was supposed to be the first. Fleming worked with producer Kevin McClory on the very first Bond screenplay. When Fleming turned it into a novel without crediting his collaborators, a legal firestorm erupted. Thunderball was shelved and Dr. No became Bond's debut. Connery said the first Bond script he was ever given was Thunderball. Number 2. That jetpack escape was not a special effect. A real man flew through the air with a rocket strapped to his back. A Bell rocket belt piloted by Bill Suter, a 19-year-old who got the job after mowing the lawn of the jetpack's inventor. Only 21 seconds of flight time. The producers wanted Bond to fly without a helmet, but Suter refused. Smart move, Bill. Number 3. That moment where Bond scrambles from the shark pool is not acting. A barrier separated Connery from the live sharks, but it was not fixed. When one shark slipped past, Connery bolted out faster than anyone had seen. Terrence Young confirmed several of Connery's panicked reactions were completely real and made it into the final cut. Number 4. Before Claudine Auger won Domino, 3 future stars were passed over. Faye Dunaway chose another film. Raquel Welch was hired but released for Fantastic Voyage. Julie Christie arrived looking disheveled and disappointed broccoli. A French journalist suggested Auger, a former Miss France. She nailed the audition and the role was rewritten to suit her. Number 5. Despite her performance, Auger's voice never made it into the film.
It's a small island.
Perhaps we can have dinner together.
No.
My dear uncooperative Domino.
How do you know that?
Her French accent was considered too heavy, so producers brought in Nikki van der Ziel to dub all her dialogue. The same actress who dubbed Ursula Andress in Dr. No, an invisible Bond legend giving her voice to iconic Bond girls without ever appearing on screen. Number 6. The dubbing did not stop with Domino. Adolfo Celli, who played Emilio Largo, was also completely dubbed. His thick accent made dialogue difficult.
Any objection to raise the limit? 500 pounds, shall we say?
Too big for me.
Count me out.
So producers hired Robert Rietti to re-record every line. Rietti had dubbed in Dr. No and returned for Your Eyes Only. That authoritative villain voice does not belong to the man you see on screen. Number 7. Tom Jones built to an impossibly long final note, and that note nearly killed him. He fainted and collapsed in the studio. When Jones asked songwriter Don Black what strikes like Thunderball meant, Black admitted he had no idea.
He always runs.
Written to sound dramatic with meaning a distant second, it worked. Number 8. Thunderball is an old military term for the mushroom cloud produced during atomic bomb tests. The code name for Israel's 1976 rescue operation in Uganda was called Thunderball, directly named after this film. When your movie title becomes real-world military vocabulary, you have made something unforgettable. Number 9. Special effects supervisor John Steers was given experimental rocket fuel to rig the explosion of Largo's yacht. Nobody told him how powerful it was. When the yacht blew its shattered windows along Bay Street in Nassau, roughly 30 miles away. Despite the accidental overkill, the footage was kept. Steers won an Academy Award for his work on this film. Number 10. For most of its development, Thunderball was titled Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, a phrase Italian critics coined to describe Bond himself. John Barry wrote a full title song under that name. When producers switched back to Thunderball, the song was scrapped and Tom Jones brought in. You can still hear the original on the DVD special features. Number 11, Johnny Cash wrote and submitted his own Thunderball theme, and it was rejected. His version had a darker tone, very different from the big band glamour Barry and Jones delivered. Imagine the opening credits with the man in black growling over those underwater silhouettes, instead of Jones belting to the heavens. Number 12. Thunderball is the first Bond film where Bond does not smoke on screen. After 3 films of Connery coolly puffing away, Bond goes cold turkey.
It's going to be impossible if his luck doesn't change.
Somehow I don't think it will tonight.
Ironically, during the Junkanoo scene, a large papier-mâché Marlboro box is visible in the background. Bond was not smoking, but the brand was still in frame. Number 13. The underwater battle was choreographed by Riku Browning, best known for playing the Gilman in Creature from the Black Lagoon. Every movement had to be planned meticulously because communication underwater was nearly impossible. The equipment cost $85,000. Knowing a literal movie monster orchestrated those sequences makes it all even more surreal. Number 14. A full-scale Vulcan bomber mock-up was sunk off the Bahamas during production, and after filming the crew simply left it there. Coral and marine life colonized the wreckage, turning a movie prop into a thriving artificial reef. Today, divers can visit Thunderball Grotto near Staniel Cay and swim through 60 years of Bond history. Number 15. Luciana Paluzzi auditioned for Domino, but did not get the part. The producers offered her Fiona Volpe, the ruthless Spectre assassin. Fierce, seductive, genuinely dangerous.
James Bond, who only has to make love to a woman and she starts to hear heavenly choir singing.
Fiona became one of the most memorable villains in early Bond history, and the character does not even appear in Fleming's novel. She was created entirely for the film. Number 16. By Thunderball's filming, Connery was deeply frustrated with the price of playing Bond. The press followed him relentlessly, and his marriage was under strain. He refused to speak to journalists and turned down a fee for an NBC promotional special. Behind the charm and the tuxedo was a man who felt trapped by his own success. Number 17. Thunderball launched one of the first ever James Bond action figures, riding the wave of Bond mania that began with Goldfinger. Lunchboxes, board games, model kits. The beginning of Bond as a merchandising empire. Today, vintage Thunderball-era memorabilia fetches serious money among collectors. Number 18. During the Junkanoo Carnival, a dog wandered into shot and relieved itself in front of the camera. Editor Peter Hunt cut the footage, but Broccoli and Saltzman found it so funny they insisted it stay. Watch carefully and you can spot the dog doing its business while performers in oversized 007 headdresses march behind it. Number 19. The ending, where Bond and Domino are extracted by a low-flying aircraft using a hook and cable, was based on a real military method called the Fulton Surface-to-Air Recovery System. A balloon attached to a harness is inflated, and an aircraft snags it at speed. It sounds insane, but it worked in real Cold War operations. Number 20. Thunderball is the only Bond film where all the 00 agents are seen gathered in one room. When M calls a briefing, all 9 are summoned.
His name is Duval. Well, I saw him last night at Shrublands, but he was dead.
Bond arrives last and takes the 7th seat from the left, a subtle confirmation of his 007 status. 60 years later, no other Bond film has repeated this moment. Number 21. And now the bonus fact. When Kevin McClory won the rights to Thunderball in court, he got the rights to Spectre, and with Spectre came Blofeld. For decades, the official Bond films could not use either. That is why the villains disappeared after Diamonds Are Forever in 1971, and why Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton never faced Blofeld on screen. McClory used his rights to produce Never Say Never Again in 1983. It was not until 2013, 7 years after McClory's death, that his estate settled with MGM. Within a year, the 24th Bond film was announced. Its title, Spectre. One lawsuit shaped the entire franchise for 50 years. Every missing Blofeld, every villain choice traces back to Thunderball. That is why this is not just a great Bond movie. It is the most important Bond movie ever made. Like this video, drop a comment telling us which fact surprised you most Subscribe 90s Playback for daily new videos and press the bell icon so you don't miss any update.